So tragically, most relationships fail nowadays because of how off-balance masculinity and femininity has become in relation to one another. There is, however, a book that changed my whole perspective when it comes to this, and after watching this video, you will understand why. And hopefully you will also be able to prevent your future relationships from taking fatal damage. So, The Way of the Superior Man. If I would have known what was in this book throughout the 2 long-term relationships I've been in, then they might not have ended. So, thank God I didn't. But either way, I'm so glad I do now. Because what this book allows you to understand is invaluable. And one of the most important things that this book will actually teach you is how to maintain attraction and keep it present throughout the relationship. Because that's a huge issue nowadays that you see everywhere. I'm sure this has happened to you if you've been in a relationship longer than 1 year. You lose attraction. You and your woman stop having this energy between you, this attraction, and overall just the excitement. It dies out. It's like it goes from colorful to gray. And I mean, we've heard people talking about this like honeymoon phase in the start, but should it really be like that? That relationships are only enjoyable at first? Haven't you ever thought about how messed up that is? A big reason for why is because you get depolarized, which means you're not really on different ends on the spectrum of feminine and masculine energy anymore. Both men and women are pretty much neutral on the spectrum nowadays, at least much more than they used to be. They're more neutral than their core is, and they're more neutral than they would be naturally, and this leads to attraction disappearing. And one thing especially that I've noticed so clearly in my past relationships, for example, is if one of you is more neutral than the other, or if you overall fail to match each other on the spectrum as opposites, it will lead to built-up resentment and overall just loss of respect. When the masculine fails to match the feminine, she will lose faith in him. To her, he won't feel like her rock that she can lean on, and this will lead to built-up resentment. It won't be stated with words that that is the issue, but you will feel it. She will begin to lash out easily and get angry over nothing. Earlier in my life, I failed in this, both of my relationships. Although I don't think they would have turned out great either way, so I'm very grateful for that now. But anyways, one of them started getting angry and kind of just mean. And for a good while afterwards, I was always thinking like, yeah, she was a bitch, but now I know there's more to it than that. After I read this book, it became clear to me that that was not really the case. Maybe she did act like a bitch, but the reason behind it was not on her. And the other girl I saw ended up wanting to see other people. The thought of that deeply disgusted me. Imagine thinking about that, your girl was someone else, and also knowing that she wants that. And this too had logic behind it. Same reason as the other, I didn't match her as an opposite. I didn't match her feminine energy with masculine energy. Nowadays, us young men are feminine and we aren't taught this. We aren't taught the consequences of failing to match your woman's energy. Failing to be what she needs you to be. And failing her, and especially failing yourself. You're failing your own masculine core because you're not in touch with it. How could you be when the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the word masculinity is toxic? How could you be in touch with this side of yourself? You have probably failed in this sense, and you know what I'm talking about. Or you've seen it in relationships around you. You don't have to look for long to see this in couples that have been dating for many years. You need to read this book in order to save your future relationships. Don't let your children grow up watching their parents resent each other, only staying together for their sake. Let your children grow up with parents that not only love them, but also so clearly love each other, even more than they did when they were younger. That should be the goal, and you can achieve that with the help of this book. So I recommend you read it. And that's all I got for you today. If you want more help on your journey towards becoming a greater man, click the link down below to apply to work with me for free, where I personally guide you through my 5-step process for self-improvement in a one-on-one call. Take care, brother, and earn your sleep.
And by the way, subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out. Please and thank you.